Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do a tag today. I'm trying to still catch up on the tags that I've been tagged in. So today I'm going to do the Book Snob book tag. So I was tagged by Charles Heathcote, and this is originally done by Tia and All the Books. I will have both of their videos linked down below, as well as all the questions. So let's just jump right in. Question number 1, Adaptation Snob. Do you always read the book before you see the movie? No. As much as I would like to say I do attempt to do that. And again, I don't watch as many movies now as I used to. I really haven't watched any movie in the last, year. Anything new. But in the past, I'm much more amped to pick up a book if I know it's an adaptation. There's been some movies that I watched and didn't know there was a book, and then I would read that later. But most of the time, I do like to read the book first. I'm much more for the source material, pretty much on anything. I would rather know the original before I see an adaptation or a retelling or anything. I'm much more for the source material. So yeah, I'm not quite 100%, but probably as close as I can be on that one. Question number 2 is format snob. You can only read one format. Is that what it is? No, you can only choose one format in which to read books for the rest of your life. Which one do you choose? Physical books, ebooks, or audiobooks? Physical books. I definitely have the collection. At this point, I would like to say physical books. I do read ebooks and I do read listen to audiobooks, so I do like to partake in all of them, but I would say most of my reading is done physically still at this point, so I'm gonna go with that. Question 3 is ship snob. Would you date or marry a non-reader? Now, I think this is a really funny question. A lot of people are like going, oh yeah, of course, and agreed. I had a different stipulation on this one. So I don't have a problem if someone is not a non-reader. I still think that's wrong, but I would date them as long as they had a hobby, as long as they had something to focus on, that when I'm focusing on reading or writing, I can go do that because they're doing something else. So, if that was they had a passion. That was my whole thing. They didn't have to like reading and writing like I did, but as long as they had something else that they loved, I was good with that. So yes, I would date or marry one, but they had to have something else that they were into, because I am not going to entertain them. Did I tell you I was single? Yeah. Okay, question number 4. Genre snob. You have to ditch one genre, never to read again for the rest of your life. Which one do you ditch? Now, I don't know if this was, I know somebody mentioned this one on one of their videos. It might have even been Charles. No, I don't know. I actually don't remember who said this, but I would ditch self-help. I don't read self-help. I don't need it, I guess. I mean, yeah, I probably need help, but I don't read it. I don't find the books useful to me. I think it's pretty much your own personality towards taking what somebody else says about it. I think that's the problem. Most of them I don't have any inclination to read or get anything from them. So question 5, how do I say it? Is it Uber's genre snob? Is that how you say that? My brain just went out. You can only choose to read from one genre for the rest of your life. Which genre would you choose? Clearly fantasy. Fantasy has so many subgenres. I could hit anything I wanted. I can have epic fantasy. I can have urban fantasy. I could have technically paranormal romance, because that is part fantasy. So, there's like a lot of different genres within the fantasy realm, and it is my favorite genre overall. So I would say fantasy. That would be the one I'd keep. Question 6, community snob. Which genre do you think receives the most snobbery from the bookish community? And I think everybody says this. I think a big deal of that is romance, and I think that's so not right, considering how many books have a romantic thread within them, that how many people read all those books. I mean, again, I read those books. I don't, it's a human condition. We all look to achieve it at some point, usually. You know, I think the genre just gets looked down because it is mostly written by women, and I do not like that, of course, as a woman writer. I do not say that it's written badly, because even though you look at those Harlequins that are pumped out really fast, there are so many authors who are pumping those that's how they got those, and they're short novels, they're easy to read, and as long as you're reading, I don't care. As long as you're writing, I don't care. You know, it's one of those things. Like, I just think that some people just like to be snobby for no reason, and I just hate the fact that romance is put down upon at all, because I think it's a gray genre. There's so many different variations within that. Again, you can go to sub sections of the genre where there's certain things that I like that other people don't like, but you have so much variety, as much as in fantasy and in literary fiction or general fiction or any kind of fiction. So I just don't like that romance is put down. People are like, oh, I don't like romance. Well, then that's you. That doesn't make the genre obsolete or nobody's gonna like it. A lot of people like it. Sorry. And it's written, some of the books are written as just as well as any of those other books. Agreed. All for me. And then question number 7, Snobbery Recipient. I said that word wrong. Whatever. Have you ever been snobbed for something that you have been reading, or for reading in general? So as I said, I've worked in manufacturing, and now I work in mechanical services kind of thing. So I work with a lot of men who don't read. So I've always been teased about the fact that I read so much, and that's what I like to do. They just think it's funny that, and again, luckily I read so many different genres. I don't usually get the comments about the kind of books that I bring, because I bring, you know, varieties from horror to classics to romance to fantasy to sci-fi, you know, to westerns, to like, I'm all across the board, mysteries. And so like some of them will be like interested to see what book I brought today, because it's different from what, you know, they probably looked at. But I have had books where people would look at me and be kind of concerned. When I used to read the Necroscope books right here by Brian Lumley in high school, oh, I loved bringing those books to work, to school. Sorry, they because they had the lovely skulls on them, and the guys were all like, "Oh, what's that? Let me look at that." And then the girls would be, some of the girls, not all the girls. I mean, the girls that were not my friends, like my friends got it, but not the other ones who thought they were like, that read more, Sweet Valley High and that stuff. I'm kidding. I'm just meant that you'd get different reactions from the kind of books that you brought to school. And I brought these. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I wasn't like snubbed, but I was like, I would get attention that I probably enjoyed a little too much from having that kind of book at school. Anyway, so, did I answer that question? I don't know. Anyway, hey, if you want to do this tag, go ahead and do this. I know this has been around a little bit. I don't want to tag anybody because I don't know who's done it and not. And but it was fun. I guess I am kind of a book snob in certain things, but other things I just don't care. And I think everybody should read what they want and do what they want. So there you go. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.